Well, Ralph, how was that for you? It was adrenaline-fueled for us to watch.
Yes, it was. I think apart from the two managers, everybody probably enjoyed that game. It was never boring. It was always intense. You always expected something to happen, and this is what football should be like. But this is what we have to show. This is exactly that kind of attitude that we need if we want to be successful in the end this season.
The noise, the weather, the tackles, it was like football from 30 years ago. What was it like with the atmosphere? You've not been here with the crowd before.
Yeah, I think it was beautiful. It was great to enjoy it, obviously because I won the game, but great atmosphere. Also, we are really thankful for our fans that the way that they push us, that they keep trusting in us during the game, even when we concede goals. Unbelievable.
For you personally, after such a long layoff, is it this sort of fixture, this noise, this atmosphere that kept you working through those days?
Definitely, yes. I said to one of the physios before the game, it sounds a little bit cheesy and what have you, but you know, I dreamt of these moments in the 2 years of hell that I had. So, but it's behind me now anyway. I like to leave that in the past.
Nosotros somos evidentemente la cantidad de goles que hemos recibido.
Evidently, the amount of goals we've conceded
indica que yo no he logrado solidez para evitar peligro en nuestro arco.
Indicates that I haven't managed to get a solidity to avoid danger in our own goal.
I mean, it was a bit of a throwback, wasn't it, Dion, really, with all the water and tackles flying in and this, there, that. Feels like for a few different reasons, that's a big result for Manchester United.
Yeah, it was a great game, and I think that's why we all want clubs like Leeds United back in the Premier League, because of the atmosphere and because of that kind of game that they create, that rivalry. Man United just had the edge on this occasion, and it was properly blood and thunder.
There's quite a lot to dig into in this game. Given Manchester United's record when it comes to attacking corners this season, Leeds will be fuming how they conceded the first goal.
This is the first one they've scored this season, and Leeds have conceded 12. I mean, if you look at Llorente's position, Ian, he looks at the ball at the last second, and basically Harry Maguire bullies him. If you look, he's not even looking at the ball, he's only fixated on the man. That's not how you mark. You have to go ball and man. You have to be looking at both. But even Meliele, he makes it too easy as well. He comes and he's in the middle of... He's in no man's land. He's in no man's land. If he stays on his line as well, he just catches it. And then you look as well at the back post. Pogba's shirt getting pulled. If Maguire doesn't get it, it's a pen. It's a pen all day long, especially if they go back on VAR and have a look at it. But that's not how you mark in the box. It isn't. Dion, you'd have put me in the back of the net with the ball.
Yeah, but just to explain that then, because, you know, as the most recent centre-half in this studio...
Dion
sorry, Dion. As the most recent centre-half, and also as a coach and a manager now, is that a very modern thing? It feels to me as an amateur that's a very modern thing of players focusing consistently on the man,
but that isn't the right way to do it. You have to be... So if the ball's coming from Dion's direction, you have to be man, ball, and constantly looking. You have to be checking where your man is at the end of the day. And there's only one ball. Go and head it.
Whereas most now are just straight
fixated on the man. It's poor defending. It's in my view, it's lazy defending.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Leeds-Manchester United games, since Leeds have been back in the Premier League, have had a really interesting tactical battles in them. And there was another one today where Manchester United got the edge.
They got the edge because I think they figured out how to break the press, set up for the press again, Leeds, and the two centre-halves, Manchester United today, figured out that there was always going to be a bit of an area where they can run into, and they used it all day, Woody, didn't they?
Lindelof was absolutely brilliant at it. If you look at this is the goal. It's because the centre-forward isn't going to chase him all the way back. And once the centre-half goes, someone has got to come and press him. He breaks out, and this is how they score. But it was brilliant. Lindelof done it all afternoon. He really did. Look again. Rodrigo's chasing. Does the centre-forward want to chase him? Plays a lovely ball in, and they should score again. Dion, can you imagine you or Alan Shearer wanting to track back that centre-half?
No, thank you. No, thank you. I'd rather let the centre-half go.
Lindelof did it, or he could have kept on going there.
And by him going, someone else has to come out to him, which then creates space.
And then there's space for that man. So that's how they're breaking it down. Leeds always go one centre-forward against two centre-halves. So if you can get the other centre-half free, he can break through. So they're brilliant at it.
So you can't do that against every team?
Not every team, because not every team presses the same way, like a Man United or a Liverpool or a Man City. They're playing in different ways.
You've played in these games. Are you surprised, given this was the first one with the fans back at Ellen Road for Leeds Manchester United, that it took Leeds until the second half to really kind of get going?
That's what I was thinking. I went to the game and that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, are the Leeds players going to put a tackle in? But I tell you what they did. When they came out in that second half, they didn't have. And if you look here, look at the passion and what they want to do. They're getting close to people. They're creating chances. I mean, he's another one of the tackles by Firpo.
And that gets the crowd going.
It was the condition. The conditions were brilliant for it. It really was. And it was getting the fans on the edge of the seat.
And a bit of luck.
And a bit of luck. We all need that, don't we? We all need that.
You absolutely love this one,
and look
by
at
the way.
Stewie Dallas's tackle. Look at the fans. Look at the fans. It's
You were out your seat watching this. You were out your seat saying that's what you wanted your team to do.
Forshaw, again, in. This is what the Leeds fans want to see.
So, why? You're not likely to know, are you? Why didn't they do this in the first half?
I just think Pogba was really dictating the game. I thought Forshaw at times found it hard to play against Pogba. But when Forshaw went back to being the number 6, he was the best player on the pitch. If you see some of his interceptions and some of his tackles here, Firpo again. But look, they're breaking at pace now.
They all know what to do and how to do it. It's just doing it for 90 minutes, 95 minutes. It is tough because they do it at pace as well.
Yeah, they do it at pace. Everything about Leeds' game is being relentless, and they cover some ground. I just thought I got caught up with them in the second half when Man United made a double substitution. Leeds had already used theirs, and that's when they started becoming a bit fatigued.
Man of the match was given to Jadon Sancho at this game, who is slowly but surely edging himself into form and starting to look comfortable at Manchester United. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I think we're just starting to see what we want to see, you know, of a player like this, and the positions he's getting himself into, like this position here, whether it's left going in or on the right-hand side coming in. We want to see him doing this. We want to see him attacking a defender or 2 defenders. This here, he's sprinting onto that ball, and then he takes a bit of pace off it and just leaves it in an area for one of his teammates. Gets into an area that I think he should take that first time, but he decides to take 2. That's something he can work on with his game. When to take it first time, when to take a touch. Again, staying out the way, leaving himself space to come into, and this is where he wants to be. Man on man, lovely little weighted pass for Fred, and Fred puts it in the near post. He gets a little bit lucky here, but you can see what he wants to do. He wants to be positive. He's on the touchline. He wants to be close to the touchline. That's where he's most comfortable.
But if you run at players like that, you will get luck from time to time. No, you make your own.
And Jonathan will tell you this. They should really score. Elanga should really score. Jonathan, when a defender's running at you, a striker's running at you at pace, you think, oh, no.
It's difficult to deal with, and he can do it all day long. Like we saw when he was at Dortmund, he was exceptional. You need a little bit of time to settle in, and you need a manager to really, really believe in you and what you can do. He's started to play a lot of games now for United, and he's showing how good he is.
You'd give most players a year to settle in at a new club, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly, especially coming over back from Germany, from where he's been. You need that time. And at Man United at the minute, let's be honest, it hasn't been great, has it? So he's going into that environment. I tell you what, it'd be an unbelievable player for Liverpool, him. Let me tell you that now. Unbelievable player. He'd fit into their system, no problem.
You're losing friends. You're losing friends.
On your first show, you were doing quite well then, and I think you probably...
I thought you were Man City, chap.
Oh, God, this is turning into a worse debut for you than Real Madrid.
Can't be that bad.
Right, Wolves